Hi everybody, hello and welcome to Geek Myth UK edition. আমি এখন লন্ডনে, I'm at my best friend's house, Atish, and behind the camera হচ্ছে আরেকটা আমার খুবই ভালো friend and one of my best friends also Atish's fantastic, beautiful, lovely wife Mahin, who's waving from behind the camera. And আমাদের সাথে আছে also Naveed. নাভিদের সামনে কোনো মাইক নাই, so he won't be actually কথা বলে দেখো তো আসে নাকি? Just say hello. Hello. So কিছু একটা শোনা যাচ্ছে মনে হয়. So anyway, we're going to share the mics একটু পরে. So I'm very excited to be here. London is like my second home. I love coming here. আমি লাস্ট আসছিলাম 5 বছর আগে, তখন আতিশের বাসায় ছিলাম, এই বাসাতেই ছিলাম in fact, and I had a great time. And এবারও আসছি, এসে I'm going to watch all these fantastic movies that are coming out. We're going to watch Jurassic World Part 2 Fallen Kingdom next week. We're going to watch Hereditary, যেটা I think 10 দিন পরে বেরোচ্ছে. So we're going to watch all these movies in beautiful big screen fantastic cinemas, and I'll feel bad for all of you যারা ঢাকা বসে বসে সিনেপ্লেক্সে গিয়ে দেখছো. So anyway, today basically আমি আসার আগে লাস্ট এপিসোডে বলেছিলাম যে I'm going to London and I'm going to do the UK edition. As you can see from the flag symbol up there on the, I think, right hand corner of the screen, maybe left hand corner of the screen, there's a little UK flag there. So we are live from UK. আমাদের পিছে এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে না, but এই জানলাগুলোর পিছে হচ্ছে Thames River. This place is called, what's it called, Atish? Royal Arsenal is right beside the river. So it's a fantastic place. আমি যখন সকালবেলা ঘুম থেকে উঠি, the view is brilliant. But we're not here to talk about views and the geographic locations and scenic beauty. We are here to talk about movie news and reviews. That's right. This is the show where we talk about geek movie stuff, movie news. আজকে আমরা রিভিউ করব Hurricane Heist. We're going to go in depth into solo further discussions. আমি জানি আমরা বারবার সোলোতে ফেরত আসতেছি because I feel this is a watershed moment in Lucasfilm's history. And these guys right here, I don't know that much about Navi, but Atish is a huge Star Wars fan. The Millennium Falcon that you see here, this is the biggest Millennium Falcon I've seen. আমার কোনো ফ্রেন্ডের বাসায় ছোট ছোট সব জায়গায় আছে, এত বড় আমি দেখি নাই. Atish, when did you buy this?
Bought about 7-8 years ago.
7-8 years ago. কি লন্ডন থেকে?
From London. It's a sort of a collector's edition, limited edition, because it's got lots of details. So it's a great possession.
So কত টাকা পড়ছিল?
When I bought it, it was about £250. But এখন যেহেতু it's collector's edition, it's obviously gone up in value, and it's hugely sought after as well.
So যারা আমাদের মতো collectors, যারা freaks like us, geeks like us, you know the value of these things. অনেক কাছে মতো হ্যাঁ $250 দিয়ে খেলনা কিনছে. Well, you're talking to somebody যে ঢাকায় 2 বছর আগে প্যাসিফিক রিমের এত বড় একটা স্ট্যাচু. You guys who watch Geek, maybe you've seen that statue, Gypsy Danger. I bought it for 20,000 টাকা. So we do these kinds of things. We love it. Anyway, the first topic হচ্ছে আমাদের favorite Star Wars and the Han Solo movie, যেটা আমরা গত 3 জন দেখলাম. And আমি already আমার views জানাই দিছি, like everybody knows what I thought about the movie and everything. So what I would like to know is, প্রথমে তোর কাছে শুনবো, তারপরে নাভিদের কাছে শুনবো, যে I'm not a diehard Star Wars, I'm more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan, but I love Star Wars because একটু আগে আমি নাভিদকে বলছিলাম যে I like everything that's not real. I like the unreal. I love sci-fi. So you can think I love Star Wars. So we watched it, and you had a very different reaction to Solo. What was your overall thoughts? So overall, কি মনে হচ্ছে?
I thought it was a brilliant movie. I thought the way they executed the story, the backstory especially, I thought it was done quite effectively. I thought they portrayed the characters really well. I think it was interesting the way they showed the whole introduction between Chewie and Han. I think that was done quite nicely. But also, I think the actors that played the different characters, they did it really well as well. But again, after The Last Jedi, my expectations towards any Star Wars movies was so low. Right? There you go, so low, right? There you go, right? Yeah, so low that I went in with no expectations. Okay, especially since Disney took over Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy running the show, as you mentioned in our discussions yesterday. But I thought it was entertaining. It was good choice of characters. Could it have been better? Maybe yes, but overall it entertained me. Okay, overall I thoroughly enjoyed it. I agree with you based on what you told me yesterday that they didn't do anything different per se. Okay, it was a very sort of Force Awakens safe type execution, safe type story and all that, but it sort of met my expectations. So if I were to review this out of 10, I would say probably a 7.5 out of 10, which isn't bad given that The Last Jedi for me was -2 out of 10. So So yeah,
আচ্ছা তো এখন কষ্ট করে মাইকটা একটু যদি
no, sure.
আমরা আমাদের ঘরোয়া পরিবেশে শো আমি সবসময় বলি যা আছে তাই দিয়ে শো করি I only have 2 mics so we have to share.
Take it over there.
You can just hold it if you don't want to or
No, I
click
think
it,
it works
whatever.
better, yeah. Yeah, so overall, I liked the film as well. It was, decent paced, good action sequences, and it was just familiar, I'd say. Felt, old characters, old faces. It was just a great film, I thought.
So
And plus, are we talking with spoilers as well?
yeah এখন অনেক দিন হয়ে
Okay.
গেছে
Well, the spoiler at the end, like Darth Maul, that blew me away completely. Like,
so তুমি
completely
কি
floored
ইয়ে
me.
ফলো করতেছিলা were you following the Clone Wars and
Bits and
Rebels?
pieces, yeah, bits and pieces. So I know, what
So
happened.
you
to
knew
him.
he was back.
Yeah, I knew he was back. Yeah, I mean, after he got chopped in half and then became like a biped with like metal feet, and they actually showed the metal feet yesterday as well. I actually watched the video yesterday when I got home, and they showed him with his biped over there as well.
But actually one comment.
মাইকটা না হাতেই রাখো না ডিপ ডিপ তো শার্ট ছিল
No, I mean, I think the Darth Maul scene was interesting.
Mine, can you please give me my Darth Vader cup?
Sure, why not?
আমি ওটা ভুলে গেছি
Pleasure.
and you can also say hi to everybody এদিকে দিয়ে আসো হাই বলে যাও হাই বলে যাও
Hi, everyone.
না এখনো দেখা যাচ্ছে না এখনো
Okay.
এই যে আরেকটু ঢুকো
All right.
alright so that's Mahin.
Hi.
She's a wonderful hostess of this home and she's also one of my best friends and I love coming here. One big reason why I come here.
Thank you. Enjoy.
So this is the Darth Vader cup that I'm talking about. I'm জানি না কতটুকু বোঝা যাচ্ছে
No, I think I agree with Novid, the fact that Darth Maul was in the movie. It was certainly a surprise. It was a bit like the Rogue One moment for me when they connected Rogue One with New Hope, because I didn't watch any trailers, so for me that was a complete surprise. However, having said that, I think there's some cheesy elements to the whole Darth Maul thing as well. I mean, the way he spoke, the accent, and the fact that he had to show off his lightsaber just to reconfirm that yes, it's Darth Maul, I'm still
আমার
there.
আসলে ওইটাই সবচেয়ে ম্যাচ খারাপ হচ্ছে যে এত গ্রেটুশিয়াস লাগছে যে
Yeah.
why would you have to put on the lightsaber
Exactly.
বুঝছস আমি কে বুঝছস ভাই
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so it seemed a bit desperate that he's still, trying to fight for fame or whatever, even though he's been kicked out of the Empire, right? He's no longer part of the Sith Majesty or whatever you call it. But it was interesting to see that Darth Maul is back because one of the big mistakes I think George Lucas made with Episode 1, 2, and 3 was that he introduced interesting characters where they put a lot of effort in terms of makeup, get up, and all that, but didn't carry them on for too long. Like for example, Jar Jar Binks, complete pointless waste of time. He spent a lot of time showing Jar Jar Binks, trying to make it funny and all that. In episode 1, he was a complete clown. In episode 2 and 3, he's a senator or something, right? Yeah. Okay, so
এসি ছেড়ে দিবা
so from that perspective, I think showing Darth Maul was interesting, but yeah, a bit cheesy as well. I mean that's what I thought.
Did you feel the same as well?
আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে I totally understand why you guys love this film. I think one big reason was যে Last Jedi was such a big fuck you to all the fans from Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
এখানে this was not a fuck you. I mean, in fact, Geek নিয়ে বলছি, this is not a fuck you to the fans. This is a goodwill gesture. Everything that we wanted from a Han Solo movie, the first meetup of Han and Chewie, Han gets the blaster. I didn't even know that Han Solo getting the name was such a big deal.
Yeah,
So ওটা কেন করছে আমি জানি না। ওটা একটা silly লাগছে, but it's fine.
Yeah.
The first time they board Millennium Falcon, first time Han and Chewie বসে on the pilot seat and co-pilot seat. Those moments really blew me away. Everything regarding the Millennium Falcon I love because আতিশে নাই যেটা এখন লাস্ট 2-3 বছর ধরে বলা শুরু করছে। আতিশে নাই like around 10 years back থেকে আমরা বলতাম যে our favorite Star Wars character হচ্ছে Millennium Falcon. Character. Like আমরা হিসাব করে বের করছি প্রত্যেকবার দেখ who is there to save the day is the Millennium Falcon this that. So anything with Millennium Falcon I loved. Castle Run টানে সব মজা লাগছে। But আমি যেটা বলছিলাম যে there is a certain depth that it's funny that we're talking about blockbusters and I'm using the word depth. But there is a kind of the good blockbusters have a little bit of depth. আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে না this was more of a checklisting things like alright meeting হয়েছে ঠিক আছে এটা হয়েছে ঠিক আছে check Castle Run check Han shoots first check. For me it was too much of a checklisting and not enough of proper character development. I wanted a grittier Han Solo. Not I love his innocence. Was he innocent and এখনো জানে না এগুলো মজা লাগছে, but I also wanted him to be a little more dangerous as a person. He grew up in the streets and all that. So ওগুলো আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে those were a little bit lacking and unfortunately it's bombed. It's bombed in the box office. even though it's a better movie than Last Jedi. I totally agree with you guys. It's better than Last Jedi. But
it can't get worse than Last Jedi.
no, it can't get. So, এখন হচ্ছে my question to you guys. This is the first time that a Star Wars brand name movie has grossed less than $1 billion. I think মানে
It's gonna be
অরিজিনাল গুলো বিল মানে নতুন ইয়েগুলোর মধ্যে এটা তো সুপার লস হবে. They spent more than around 400 plus for just production, and then another say 150 for marketing. So they have to make at least 650 to just get the money back. বুঝছো? So আমি জানি না এখন মানে what do you think the future Star? Do you, first of all, my question to both of you guys, do you think that Han Solo sequel হবে নাকি হবে না? Do you think Boba Fett এর মুভি নিয়ে একটা রিউমার চলছে? Boba Fett এর মুভি হবে নাকি হবে না? Do you think Ryan Johnson কে বলা হয়েছে, "Oh Ryan, go out there and make a new trilogy." Do you think that's going to happen? নাকি হবে না?
Okay, so on Han Solo, I think there will be a sequel. Okay, maybe one more or maybe two more. But just going back to your initial point, I mean, I agree with you that there wasn't much depth to it. It was a very safe story. What they could have done with this movie, if you ask me now, I think they could have taken this out as a TV series, a 3-part TV series, and finished it off. That would have been interesting because in TV series you don't have the same expectations like a movie. Okay, that's one.
Second, and you can get time to build character.
You can get time to build character. You try out episode 1, it doesn't work. That's fine. You introduce, you have the luxury of introducing twists and all that. Okay, so which I think is interesting. But for Disney, I think that they will bring out a sequel because for them right now they have the luxury of diversifying. Okay, so if Marvel is a hit, they have the luxury of experimenting with Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? It's not about, okay, the first movie won't be a hit, so we won't take out a second one. I think they have that luxury of diversification, so they probably will take out a second one. So yeah, I mean, I think that's going to happen.
Okay, so you think Solo আসবে?
Yeah, because I mean, I think you made a very good point when you said that. Obviously, with Kathleen Kennedy now running the show at Disney, there's no long-term plan about Star
But that's
Wars.
what it feels like.
There's no long-term vision about it, and I can see that because if you look at the Last Jedi, sorry, going back to Last Jedi,
No problem.
because it's the same people that's managing these movies now. If you look at the ending, it's about the little boy at the casino thing, okay, who has powers, right? So it's I mean they're probably trying to create a new generation of fans or whatever it is, but it's not about the existing fans anymore. It's about how do we take it forward with the new generation, the next generation. The whole nostalgia effect is no longer there. Okay, but yeah, I mean, answering your question, I think there will be a sequel to Han Solo.
Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the movie's certainly left open-ended. I mean, it's all there for a sequel. Going back to your rumors on Boba Fett, I heard about that as well. And I mean, Disney bought the franchise for a reason, to make money. So they're going to milk it for what it's worth. They're going to churn out films like one after another. There'll be merchandising around it, and it's just going to keep continuing. So, you will see an expanded universe. I think an interesting point on the Solo movie was that it's the first time you actually saw a universe in Star Wars which wasn't directly related to the main canon. It was slightly different. Costumes were different. The guards were different. So you are going to see that a lot more in Disney, I think. I mean, there's rumors about a TV show coming up on their...
they've signed Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau to do a pura TV
Exactly,
series.
yeah. And it'll be completely away from the main the Star Wars canon.
And
but in the Star Wars universe.
They're going to launch it, I think, next year with the Disney streaming service.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's going to be, basically, the time period is very interesting. The time period is that 40 years between Last Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Sorry. Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But actually, I think I'm slowly starting to agree with you more now as we're discussing, because we spoke about Han Solo, the movie, but we haven't mentioned Lando once in all of these discussions, where Lando is actually one of the crucial characters in the movie as well, right? It's for him that Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
It's it's for him that all the history of the past becomes more enriching and all that. So, but we haven't mentioned Lando once, whereas he's a significant character. So I think, yeah, I mean, the fact that Lando was there in the movie,
you cannot forget it.
Yeah,
you don't. কোনো impact নাই. তেমন বিশাল কোনো impact নাই.
He's a great actor, but there was no character impact.
They wasted him. Is a fantastic actor.
They wasted him, exactly.
Person, they wasted him.
I mean, you won't walk out of watching Solo and then talk about Lando. I mean, clearly that's not what we've done, right? So there you go.
Lando's a good character overall. I mean, he wasn't amazing, but he was a solid character.
He was good. He was entertaining, okay?
Yeah.
But for me, seemed more like, you know, it was good to have Lando as opposed to it was crucial to have Lando. That's the way I saw it.
আমি বাজে বলি যে হলিউড একটা করে না টোকেন ব্ল্যাক You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We need a token black character. যাকে আছে না থাকবে জাস্ট কিছু করবে না. So Lando sort of became that person. They didn't want that. Obviously Disney didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But it sort of became that person. Or robot নিয়ে কান্নাকাটি করে চলে যায়. That's what happens. He literally came to this movie just to hand over the ship to and then leave. Or কিছু করে না.
That was his function basically, his primary function.
So এটা একটু খারাপ লাগছে আর কি. So solo problems আছে.
Maybe if they take out a sequel, they'll probably put more weight on Lando in the sequel. They have to, because if they stick with the existing cast and characters, then it's going to be pretty boring. So Lando has to play a crucial role in the sequel if it does happen.
But I'm glad to দুজনই একটা জিনিস ভালো লাগছে. I'm glad that you guys like the fact that Han Solo knows how to speak Kishikian or whatever Chewbacca language, and because die-hard Star Wars fan এটা নিয়ে চিল্লাচিল্লি করছে যে ট্রিলজিতে তো সে জীবনে বলে নাই, সেখানে কেন বসছে. সো ট্রিলজিতে বলে দেখে বলবে না কেন, ট্রিলজিতে ইজ at a particular portion of his life, তাই না? It is literally like 5 years of his life.
Yeah.
So he had a life before that, so he knows a little bit of how to speak Kishikian or whatever that he is. So I'm glad you guys like that. And what did you guys think about আমার কাছে খুব ভালো লাগছিল when he shoots first? You know about the controversy, right?
Between Greedo and Han Solo in
last shoot করে না Beckett, his mentor. He shoots him before he shoots him.
Exactly.
So are you aware of the controversy regarding
No.
Acha, basically when you first meet Han Solo in A New Hope, so he's talking to Greedo নামে একটা mercenary যাকে ওকে ধরে রাখছে, and then he's about to shoot him, but before he is about to shoot him কথাবার্তা বলতেছে, Han casually মানে Greedo ভাবে ধরে আছে, he doesn't have a gun, no? He has a gun on Han কথা বলতে just টেবিলের নিচ থেকে shoots and kills him.
The line is, I bet you have, and then
মেরে ফেলে. Then in the 90s, when George Lucas decided he's going to remaster all the movies and release them on Blu-ray or DVD, ওর আর ভালো লাগে না. He's like, that's a very low down dirty thing to do, but that's Han Solo. So he changed it.
So it's taken out completely, was it?
So the 90s যে edition of Blu-ray or DVD বের হচ্ছে, ওখানে আছে যে Greedo is about to shoot or shoots first, he ducks and then he shoots.
Alright.
তখন ফ্যানদের মধ্যে একটা বিশাল ডিভাইড ক্রিয়েট হয়েছে. Because I know Han Solo is a scoundrel, is a smuggler with a heart of gold, and he did shoot first. So ওইটাই আবার এখানে অ্যাড্রেস করছে, বুঝছো? কথা মাঝখানে মেরে দেয় না, ব্যাকেট কথা বলতেছিল, it's time for your final lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that callback to
that was actually an iconic moment because you know, after that controversy, whatever you call it,
আমি actually চাইছিলাম Han take a few more hard decisions. I think that's the best way for me to put it. I wanted Han to take a few more harder decisions. যেমন shoot first was a hard decision. এরকম আরো দু একটা hard decision নিলা, then I would have felt that he's turning into that jaded, cynical.
No, but you know what? You know, talking about hard decisions, the fact that Khaleesi was in the movie, obviously, as a different character this time, but the fact that he didn't show that he was too weak towards her. Okay, he tried to be strong. I mean, you could say. I mean, you could see that he was sort of in love with her, but he didn't overdo it. Okay, I think that was a hard decision actually. That you know,
hard decision was
she came out.
It has to be your decision. She kind of
exactly.
She kind of defined the limits of the relationship. It was not up to him.
Yeah. Agreed. But you know, initially when she gets locked out or whatever, right? He moves on, but then she comes back being more stronger, more rich or whatever, right? I would have thought that he would have gone all out to try and save her and do that. ওই cheesiness-টা ছিল না in all of this. So I think that was one of the strong character points that they showed about Han Solo. I think that was a hard decision as well. Okay. Especially, you know, the way he reacted when she got locked out in the beginning, right?
Anyway, আমার মনে হয় J.J. Abrams has a very hard time ahead of him. He has to unite, or basically first time around he had the hardest job in the world to bring everyone back to Star Wars. এখন বেচারা again has the very, very, very hard task of reuniting the Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
So let's all hope he does well. 2019 December আমরা দেখবো. And I can't wait to watch Jon Favreau যে TV series টা করতেছে. Jon Favreau is a miracle maker. He launched the Marvel Universe. He did amazing with the Disney Jungle Book film. He's a miracle maker. I have absolute faith on him. And Star Wars.
Jungle Book film, you can't go wrong much.
No.
It's in a jungle and
No.
there's animals and a
Han Solo,
guy
you
grew up
can't
there.
go wrong much. They did.
No,
I can say the same about.
perfectly executed everything from the
Absolutely, it
CGI
was-
to
Yeah.
And the
story
tonal
and so on.
difference between the cartoon and the film was perfect.
Yeah.
It was slightly more darker, slightly grimmer.
Plus played homage to it through
Yeah,
the songs,
yeah.
you know, Bare Necessities and
The King Louis song.
Yeah, but I mean, nothing beats the original cartoon that came out. That's the
No.
best.
That's
That's absolutely the best.
I was
The
just-
animals look more realistic in the cartoon.
Star Wars
than
নিয়ে
they
আর কিছু বলতে চাও? কারো কিছু বলার আছে? Any last thoughts?
No, I think as a Star Wars fan, I would say don't give up hope. Okay, there's actually a movie called A New Hope and all that. I think the only way is up.
The only way is up.
It can't get worse from a lot of things. Like when episode 1, 2, and 3 came out under George Lucas's leadership, those were complete failures. Okay, but then The Force Awakens happened, which was way better and safe, like you said. Rogue One happened, which was actually
Rogue One
quite
was
good.
brilliant.
It was brilliant.
My favorite series.
Solo happened, which was, in my view, I thought was good. Could have been better, but it could have been worse. Okay, so in all of the recent ones, Last Jedi is the only culprit that came out to be quite, I mean, absolutely
It's an
ridiculous.
abomination. It's an abomination.
Okay, so out of the 3 that came out, 1 is really bad. One is
four now. 4 films.
4, yeah. One is extremely bad. One is, I mean, Solo is above average, I would say. Force Awakens was good.
Good.
What's the 4th one?
Rogue One.
Rogue One was brilliant.
Rogue One is brilliant.
So if you average those 4 out under the new leadership, it's probably an average of 6.5 out of 10.
Now, what can save this franchise is, frankly, Kathleen Kennedy needs to realize that she's not a good creative boss. She's a great producer, she's a great administrator and all that, but she's not a good creative boss. So either she needs to hire somebody to help her with those creative decisions.
No, someone needs to personally insult her. That's what it is. So what needs to happen is, whenever there's a Star Wars convention coming up next, she walks in and everyone boos. That's what's going to get her down. Because
I think Disney.
all the other conventions, she walks in and everyone's like claps and all that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, but I think Disney get the picture because I mean, Last Jedi. It was, I think overall, it wasn't as successful as Force Awakens when you take into the whole merchandising aspect into it as well. And I think the reason for that is because the Star Wars fanboys they didn't buy into it. Because I mean, I'd imagine they'd be like huge consumers of like Star Wars merchandise. So I mean, the Last Jedi was a box office like success, but overall for Disney, it wasn't as successful as Force Awakens. I'm sure Disney's going to recognize that and actually, try to make sure the Star Wars like core fan base is like happy with the next episode.
No, Boota will work, and already তুমি যেটা বললে absolutely right. Money talks.
Yeah.
So এটা তো big financial disaster হবে তোর জন্য. And this has been happening too many times. মানে Rogue One they had to reshoot the ending with another director, not Gareth Edwards. Then they fired Boba Fett movie-তে করার কথা ছিল, the guy who directed Fantastic Four, Josh Trank. He got fired. Lord and Miller got fired from Solo. So it's been happening too many times. The guy who did Colin Trevorrow, the guy who did Jurassic World, he was supposed to do episode number 9. He got fired. So too many firings going on,
Yeah.
So I think already alarm bells bastese, and if she doesn't find a solution, if her ego is too big, she's gonna go down. If she realizes, no, I'm a good, like the production side of things I can handle, I need a creative help, somebody who can help me chart the course of the stories, then she'll survive. Now she's gonna go down. না হলে যেটা হবে এই episode 9 এর পরে you'll see she's resigned.
But do you think
Graceful
episode
exit
9 can be salvaged like, from the mess that was Last Jedi?
J.J. Abrams is somebody who loves challenges, and he is very aware of the fact that everyone says he's very good at opening mysteries and not closing them. বুঝছো ও খুব সুন্দর করে threads দিয়ে
No, absolutely.
he can close them. So he knows people say that about him, and I think he is very eager to show everybody that no, I can close it out as well.
No, absolutely.
So I have great faith on J.J. Abrams. He's my boy. I'm with him all the way. Hopefully he'll succeed.
But talk about Han Solo. I mean, the Solo movie sales and all that, right? Okay, so when Last Jedi came out, Navid and I we went on the opening day, but because it was so bad, when Solo came out, we didn't go on the opening day. We went
Exactly.
We went on the 7th day.
Slightly different.
We were patient, even though we said we'll watch it together and all that. We weren't like, oh shit, I'm missing out on it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We didn't have that level of excitement, though. Do you agree?
No, it wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't there after Last Jedi.
If Last Jedi was good, I think
Yeah.
we would have been more, hyped about this one.
তোমরা 16 আগের দিন রাতে কি বসে থাকতা?
Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But we went on the 7th day. It wasn't like ask the club now. We'll watch it tomorrow. It wasn't. Even if you didn't watch the day before yesterday, you would have watched it maybe next week. There was a rush for us.
There was a
Okay,
rush.
so that's what Disney is doing to fans. Okay, so maybe the sales will pick up later. Who knows? Who knows?
এটা হবে না because if the movie was great, like Force Awakens আমরা good বলি, I had a great experience watching it. I loved watching it. But এটার general reaction is not, it's a great film.
No, I agree.
এই reactionটা
But you know what happened in the case of Last Jedi? So people went the first time, they hated it so much, they thought they didn't watch it properly or they didn't get it. So they went back again. So if you go back again, your sales double because you're buying more popcorn, you're buying more Coca-Cola, right? And all that, and you bring in more people, say, hey, guys, what did you think? And,
No, but Solo এটা হবে না কেন? Because Soloতে there's nothing puzzling. It's just it's not a bad film. That's the biggest compliment.
You don't have to be a fan. You don't have to be a fan to enjoy Solo. That's it. You could just go there and come out and say, I watched a great action movie.
No, but হয় কি, when you're talking to properties যাদের diehard fan base আছে, if you displease the diehard fan base, it's very simple. একটা Marvel movie তুই আমার হয়তো জিজ্ঞেস করবি, if I'm living in London, দোস্ত এটা দেখবি না, if I tell you আর এটা ফালতু হবে, chances are you won't go. All those people যারা Last Jedi দেখছে and are telling people ধুত Solo, আর যারা দেখতেছে তারা এসে আমার মতো, আমি এসে বলছি the biggest compliment I give it was যে Last Jedi they said fuck you fans, এখানে they made a decent film, that's it. এটা biggest compliment দিতে পারছি. That's going to get people rushing into the theaters. So I honestly don't see it picking up.
No, but you're right. I mean, I agree with you. If Force Awakens never came out, if Last Jedi never came out, and I went to watch Solo, then I'd be hugely disappointed. So maybe it was a marketing strategy to make Last Jedi so bad that will make profits to Solo.
I think we should move on. It's been 20 minutes, 26 minutes. So let's move on to the next topic. Next topic হচ্ছে কোথায় আমি হারাই ফেলছি. There's this movie যেটা আমি একটু দেখছি basically. It's called Heist. So basically এই ছবিটা আতিশ আমরা বাসায় বসছিলাম and then আতিশ আমাকে বলল চল আমরা ছবিটা দেখি. And আমি এটা আগে শুনছি এটা না, but I was like this looks completely ridiculous. So let's look at the year again ছবিটা.
But never trust my judgment before I've watched a movie.
না ঠিক আছে.
So when I told you যে এটা দেখ অনেক জোস, আমি নিজেও কিন্তু দেখিনি.
No, I understand. So movie basically I'll just say that it's if you have nothing to do at home and you're sitting and you just want to have a good time
and the radio is not working,
internet is not working, then just watch this film. কাহিনীর প্রেক্ষাপট খুবই সহজ. Basically it's a bunch of people যারা একটা there's a warehouse যেখানে পুরনো মানি এনে ওগুলোকে পুরানো হয় so that they can print new money আমেরিকাতে. So ওখানে পুরনো মানি নিয়ে আসে and then some people decide we're going to rob that place যখন there's a hurricane alert, কারণ hurricane alert মানে পুরো টাউনের সবাই পালায় গেছে, law enforcement people are out there trying to fix things, electricity down, everything. ওই চান্সে ওরা চুরি করবে আর কি. এটাই হচ্ছে কাহিনীর প্রেক্ষাপট. And I have to say I enjoyed the film Atish. It's exactly what it should be. মানে আমি এক্সপেক্ট করি না এটা ওয়ার্ল্ডের বেস্ট মুভি হবে. ইট ওয়াজন্ট দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ডের বেস্ট মুভি, বাট এখানে ম্যাগি গ্রেস ছিল, টবি কেবল ভালো অ্যাক্টিং করছে. ম্যাগি গ্রেস জীবনে প্রথম আমার দেখে মনে হচ্ছে যে ওকে থাপড়াবো না, মানে আমি ওকে লস্টে দেখছি, আমি ওকে এই কিডন্যাপ প্রত্যেকবার মনে হচ্ছে বেটি এখানে কেন আছে এটা দে একটা সর. এই ফার্স্ট ওর দেখে ওর শি লুক প্রিটি, শি লুক কনফিডেন্ট, শি লুক লাইক গুড অ্যাক্টর, শি অ্যাকচুয়ালি অ্যাক্টেড. সো আই গট টেকেন ইন বাই হার, অ্যান্ড ইনফ্যাক্ট ওর জন্যই পুরো মুভিটা আমি শেষ করছি. It's a completely ridiculous silly film, but I felt it had a little bit of heart, it had a little bit of fun, and it was not a complete waste of time for me. I actually kind of enjoyed it. What about you?
It wasn't a waste of time. If something's not a waste of time, it can't be that good either. Huh?
No.
You don't categorize a movie as
it's not a waste of time.
That's fine. But it wasn't a movie where you had to pay full attention or really read into it. It was a casual, good time pass movie, the way I'd put it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the guys who bought it out knew that it would be a movie like that and appealed to people like that. There's nothing else to watch. Let's try this out. So they made sure the poster looked good. They came up with a great name, Heist and all, whatever you call it. So from that perspective, it was good. But the kind of cast they had a British actor playing an American accent, and he's not even a successful British actor, right? The guy in Game of Thrones. In fact, he started off in The Office. Achha. The Ricky Gervais edition, where he was an extra in The Office. He's one of the main stars in this movie, playing an American, okay? And he was really bad. But the fact that it was really bad.
American, I'm going to go back to Ireland.
As most Caucasian Americans are, right? They come from Ireland, if not Italy. But the fact that they hired him was to be entertaining. Okay, because in his mind he's probably thinking he's pulling off an Oscar, right? You know what I mean? He'll go back home and say, "Oh man, you know, his family will see he was so good, Dad. You know, I mean, great." Or brother-in-law এসে বলবে যে,
No, but he was the only bad actor in the film. আর কেউ কিন্তু বাজে acting করে নাই. So
Because no one else
okay,
acted.
আতিশ ওরে পচাচ্ছে because ও আসলেই বাজে acting করছে. এই বেচারা আমরা আগে অনেক মুভি দেখেছি. অন্য মুভিতে ওর 2-3টা লাইন থাকে. এখানে ওকে 10-12টা লাইন দেওয়া হয়েছে. He didn't know what the hell to do with it. So ওই লোকটার acting বাজে ছিল. But অন্যদের acting খারাপ ছিল না কিন্তু. মানে be fair to the movie.
No, okay. To be
এই
fair,
মুভিটা আসলে বানাইছে কেন? এই সব মুভি ওরা বানায় ওরা DVD video on demand.
Straight to DVD.
কয়েকদিন না, it actually came out on the theaters. So there was a limited run in the theaters, and then it goes straight to VOD. Exactly, আমরা যে কারণে দেখছি. That's why people watch these films. So I felt ওদিক দিয়ে it was a decent film.
it was a decent movie. It was okay.
Yeah.
It's not a movie. I'd show it to friends.
But to highlight your point, তুই যদি আমাকে বলতি চল দোস্ত আমরা পয়সা দিয়া হলে এই ছবিটা দেখে আসছি, then I'd say something completely different. But as a বাসায় আরাম করে
We have to censor that conversation.
Exactly.
Basically.
So I think I
No,
enjoyed it.
I agree with you. I mean, yeah, his acting was cheesy, was bad. But you said that, you know, compared to the other actors, whatever, but no one else acted. It was just him and her and the hurricane. So, you know, from that perspective.
No, but I have to say, for a low budget film, ওদের hurricane effects কিন্তু ভালো ছিল। Like hurricane দেখে আমার মনে হয় না যে it was cut pasted আছে না যে tornado.
No, but
Twister movie থেকে
we went in with very low expectations. It wasn't a movie that, but even worth criticizing. It was okay. It was good.
Chris, I nice.
It's okay.
So I want to talk about it. So so Hurricane Heist. I don't know. Do you go for these kinds of films? Low budget.
Not usually. No.
You don't?
No, I don't think so.
So you're not interested? Yeah, we haven't sold it to you.
No, I don't think I'll go watch it.
No, watch
actually.
it.
What if we tell you যে প্রথমে Hurricane এর মধ্যে একটা skull দেখা?
No, I don't think
Magical
I'll
skull
go. I mean,
effect.
to me, it sounds like a film like Sharknado or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's more realistic than Sharknado. So
Yeah, that was okay. It
so
was
we
all
haven't been able to sell Navid on it, but hopefully we'll sell you.
right.
on it.
What Netflix did, which I found very strange, was it was a Now TV. Sorry, it was a Now TV. Was that they had the movie, then they had the making of the movie as well, which is 19 minutes. Then they had a preview of that. So they tried to market it as much as they could. Okay, so it got people's attention. It clearly got our attention.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fantastic marketing strategy to
No,
get people's
absolutely.
attention. You lock them in, and then you know.
No,
you
I mean honestly,
you make them go through 1.5 hours of shit.
I wish these guys the best. Whoever made this film, I hope they make the money back. Because I actually felt that ওরা other than that guy যে কি নাম ব্রিটিশ অ্যাক্টর যে আমেরিকান অ্যাক্টিং করছে যে জীবনে দুইটা লাইনে বেশি দিলে
He was in Game of Thrones, by the way. Do you remember?
গেম অফ থ্রোনস ছিল ও ছাড়া বাকি সবাই অ্যাক্টিং আমার কাছে স্ট্যান্ডার্ড মনে হচ্ছে ম্যাগি গ্রেসকে জীবনে প্রথম আমার ভালো লাগছে
No, but Maggie Grace ka to
Chloe Cabell was
I'll tell you why. You just found her very beautiful,
No.
and that really appealed. And that Oleg is a big
I've
factor.
been hearing all my life that she's very pretty, but because of the way she acts, I always felt like slapping her. বুঝছিস? So my point is, she acted well here, which is why finally her beauty made sense to me. That's what I'm trying to say. So, anyway, Hurricane Heist আর কথা বলার দরকার নেই. I think অনেক কথা হয়ে গেছে. Let's move on to the next topic, which is basically at a much maligned franchise, not unlike Star Wars. No, not really. Much maligned franchise is going through a soft reboot. Basically, Bumblebee. So Transformers, যেটা আমরা শুনলাম, they've stopped the franchise midway. 5টা মুভি বের হয়ে বন্ধ করে দিছে, 5টা না 6টা whatever বেরোছে. They had announced a release date for a next Transformers film. ওটা বাদ দিয়ে দিছে. Now they have released a trailer for Bumblebee, which is directed by Trevor Knight. I think Trevor Knight হচ্ছে ওর নাম. I'm 100% sure now. He's the guy who directed Kubo and the Two Strings. It's a fantastic cartoon.
Everything okay?
And
অ্যাক্টিভ ছিল না।
ওরা অ্যাক্টিভ হচ্ছে আমি এখান থেকে যখন সিলেক্ট করি একটা তখন অ্যাক্টিভ হয়.
Okay.
So so Trevor Knight, I think his name is. So I'm really looking forward to this reboot because first of all, it's going to be a very small film. It's not going to be the Transformers usual world is ending, hent and blah blah blah. It's like a story of a boy and his dog or whatever.
Coming of age.
Coming of age, বাচ্চা একটা pet থাকে, so Bumblebee is the pet. And I love the fact that they've gone back to the original. Bumblebee was always a VW bug. So this one's a VW bug in the 80s. Oh, this movie takes place in the 80s. So আমার কাছে ট্রেলারটা খুব ভালো লাগছে for very nostalgic reasons. It's completely played on my nostalgia. It reminded me of E.T. Reminded me of a lot of type of movie. It reminded me of Real Steel. I don't know if you've seen that.
Real Steel now.
Oh my God, Real Steel is
Real Steel was a good movie.
amazing.
Man, remember that huge কি বলে
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. Real he's a robot. He fights another robot.
Of course.
Yeah, that was a brilliant movie.
So it's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Please watch it. I'm sure it will get us. So I'm very excited about this movie because I think Michael Bay has done all he can. আমি মাইকেল বে ট্রান্সফর্মার আর জীবনে দেখতে চাই না. আমি প্রত্যেক লাস্ট ফার্স্ট এর পরে যতবার আমি থিয়েটারে গিয়ে দেখছি প্রত্যেকবার halfway through I felt like dying. It was so bad. So hopefully
on that point on Michael B যে ট্রান্সফর্মার গুলো হয় I told this to mine as well. দেখে মনে হচ্ছিল কি জানোস যে ধোলাই খালে পার্টস নিয়ে মারামারি হচ্ছে after one hour of the movie just মনে হচ্ছিল যে ধোলাই খালে পার্টস চুরি হয়েছে যেগুলো ওগুলোতে সবাই মারামারি করছে বাজারের মধ্যে এই ক্ল্যাঙ্ক ক্লুং হ্যাঁ এর চাকা খারাপ just complete mess. But just on the trailer I thought okay for me my weakness is the 80s. So any and আজকাল যেসব 80s movies গুলো they try and bring back I think they do a fantastic job because they really go into the details. They use good soundtrack. Like if you look at Stranger Things for example, right? One of the reasons I really like Stranger Things is with the soundtrack. Okay, so I think Bumblebee ওই perspective if it's an 80s based movie I think they'll do a good job because a lot of people can connect with the history of Transformers and all that and নতুন গুলোতে that's what was missing effectively.
Plus, I think a good director with a good actor like Haley Stanfield.
Absolutely.
Age of 17, I don't know if you
Yeah.
Coming of age movie. So she's a very good actor. So hopefully we'll get something good.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. What about you?
Well,
Are
I
you a
think
big Transformers
I was
fan?
a big Transformers fan in the 80s when I was a kid growing up. So I had all the action figures. I still have action figures actually. But yeah, so I mean the film just didn't work. I mean the first part was interesting. I think it was 3 films after that. They just weren't good at all. And the series I think needs a reboot, so I think any fresh take on it is a good thing. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, surprisingly, I think the Transformers, even though they're all rubbish films, they're all like commercial hits from what I understand. I mean, they all made like tons of money for the company.
It went 6, but I think প্রথমটা didn't hit $1 billion.
Okay.
এরপর থেকে মোটামুটি বোধহয় they've been hitting $1 billion till the
Yeah,
last
because I
one.
think the third one was I think the top 10 like all-time grossing movies, which is a bit ridiculous. Actually.
Fourthটা was $1 billion.
Yeah.
Fifthটা made $500 million.
Yeah,
মানে
so-
দাম করে people lost interest.
Yeah, so I guess respect to the studio that they had a money making machine, but they decided to take a different approach to it and actually explore.
না ভালো
the
করছে
franchise more.
ভালো করছে
But actually on merchandise Transformers didn't do well.
কি বলিস
They didn't do well.
তাই
The only country that did well through merchandise was Japan. Because people who watched the new Transformer movies were getting desperate. I mean, people who are big fanatics, right? They were getting desperate to import the original Japanese Transformer toys and merchandise. So the Japanese toys went up in value, but the American ones, apart from the small ones that you get, the pocket-sized ones, they made some money. But আগে ছিল না যে the huge Optimus Primes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hear of anyone buying a new huge Optimus Prime. I don't think you have. No one has those anymore. A huge onslaught.
Actually আমি কারোর কাছে দেখি নাই
হ্যাঁ।
now that I think about it
কারোর কাছে নাই. No one's gone out and I mean you're a big
বাচ্চাদের
movie
দেখছি
buff.
বাজে যে চাইনিজ
Baje, right? Huh? But the Japanese ones were originals. But people who are big Transformer fans, I mean, at least you would see some people buying a big new Optimus Prime that came out because quality and the finishing are really bad. But the reason I like Transformers as well as a movie is Bangladesh is probably the only country that over the past few years, at least when I grew up there, were always impacted by Transformers. এই জন্য প্রায় লোডশেডিং হতো বোধ এই ট্রান্সফর্মার বার্স্ট করছে এই ট্রান্সফর্মার বার্স্ট করছে আর 10 মিনিট পরে আসবে 1 ঘন্টা পর লোডশেডিং সো এনিওয়ে
but the funny thing is এটা তুললি ট্রান্সফরমার্স খুব বাজে যোগ ছিল
it was a
যখন ওরা কার্টুনটা বানাচ্ছিল when they were making the toys in the cartoon তখন ওরা নাম দিছিল ট্রান্সফরমার্স and exactly এটা নিয়ে they had a discussion Netflix there's a series called The Toys That Made Us so ওখানে they say that যখন আমরা নামটা দিছিলাম exactly এটা বলছে যে Transformers what about those electricity things মানুষ confused হবে না and they were like না হবে না and হয় নাই it's amazing anyway let's hope Transformer gets a fresh start because I for one love cars turning into robots and robots turning into cars.
But this is a desperate into to try and revive the whole Transformer.
Absolutely.
So Bumblebee will focus korbe Optimus Prime and
this is it Paramount or Universal, right?
I think it's Paramount.
I think it's Paramount, yeah.
Paramount, yeah.
If it's Paramount এর Mission Impossible ছাড়া আর কোনো বড় franchise নাই. So they need Transformers to hit. So I think they'll take it the right year.
Is having said that, I mean, they've tried to reboot like many of the, I guess, 80s and early 90s like franchises, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was awful, and then Ghostbusters as well, which wasn't, that great. So, I really want like Bumblebee to be a good movie, and it seems like it's making the right nods. I mean, seeing like a short cameo of Starscream in the trailer. So yeah, I think it should be a good film.
ওইটাই বাট দ্যাটস ওয়াই আমি বারবার ডিরেক্টর নাম বলতেছি ট্রাভিস নাইট ইজ ইন্ডি ফিল্ম মেকার আছে না ইজ মোর টু ক্যারেক্টার এন্ড স্টোরি এক্সপ্লোশনস এন্ড সো ওইখানে মাই অনলি হোপ যে দিস ইফ এনিওয়ান ক্যান ডু জাস্টিস টু a character-driven Transformers movie গুলো বলতে অনেক funny লাগে, but yeah, a character-driven Transformers movie, Travis Knight might be the guy to do it.
Yeah. I mean, so far I'd say the best Transformers film was the animated film that came out with Unicorn at the end of it.
আমার favorite was the first movie.
Really, the first one?
It was just I could not imagine মানে আসে না যে এটা it's like বাংলাদেশ যখন প্রথম জিতছিল in the World Cup ক্রিকেটে like I can't imagine I'm watching this. No, the World Cup গিয়ে when they first started winning, right? It was like impossible এটা. So ওই মোমেন্টটা is very strong in my head.
Actually, first Transformer trailer টা বার হয়েছিল, I think it was one of the best trailers ever, because I remember they showed the moon.
Yeah, it's on the moon.
Right, and there's suddenly this distortion, a lot of distortion, and then there's a shadow, right, and then they start off. I thought that was a brilliant way to introduce Transformers, and I think it was absolutely great. But yeah, let's hope this one is a good one.
Let's hope it's good. Let's move on to the next story. যেটা আরেকটা has a danger of being riddled by special effects and no story. Basically, Peter Jackson's নতুন endeavor, which is Mortal Engines. We just saw the trailer. So Peter Jackson গত বেশ কয়েক বছর ধরে he's been quiet. He had a horrible experience with The Hobbit. I don't know if you guys know that. It was supposed to be একটা ছবি, and the studio কে pressure করছে দুইটা ছবি বানাও. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll do 2 movies. Last moment he was no, we want you to make a trilogy because they wanted the money. So he literally had no script while he was shooting. So there are these behind the scene footages of like, oh, বসে আছে সামনে blank page in the middle of shoots. So খুব বেচারা. So he had a horrible time shooting the Hobbit, the trilogy. তারপর কিন্তু চুপচাপ আর কিছু করে না কিন্তু অনেক ধরে. So finally আবার আমরা শুনতেছি যে Mortal Engines যেটা ছবি you guys can see on screen right now. So এই ছবিটা he's producing with a guy, I forgot the director's name. He helped him out during the Hobbit. I think one of his ADs ছিল or producers ছিল, whatever. And Mortal Engines is based on a book series actually. It's a series of books. The premise হচ্ছে basically it's post-apocalyptic. এখন তো is very cool. Post-apocalyptic future. ওখানে all the cities have been destroyed in some nuclear warfare. And now humanity basically have banded together in ছোট ছোট units. ওরা একটা সিটিজে থাকে, সিটিজগুলো আবার নড়ে। সো বড় সিটিগুলো প্রত্যেকটা গাড়ির মতো, সো সিটি একটা সিটি বড় সিটি ছোট সিটিকে গিলে ফেলে, ওদের সব রিসোর্সেস নিয়ে নেয়। ইট ইজ দ্যাট ফ্যান্টাস্টিক একটা কনসেপ্ট, ইটস সামথিং ভেরি সিনেম্যাটিক, সো দে আর মেকিং এ সিনেমা আউট অফ ইট। সো এখন we've all seen the trailer. First of all, I love the trailer. So let's just talk about the trailer first. What did you guys think of the trailer?
Okay, for me the trailer was super exciting because living in London, the first thing they showed was St. Paul's, which is right next to my office, moving on wheels. Okay? For me that was pretty scary, pretty interesting and very different, and you could clearly see that the director is taking a huge risk with this movie as well. Okay, but
no, why do you say that? What risk are you talking about?
The risk in the sense, you're taking iconic buildings and moving them on wheels, right? I mean, it's a risky. It's not a normal concept. It's quite adventurous. It's quite aggressive from that perspective, right?
But it's also very cinematic.
Absolutely, right? It's clearly a big screen movie and all that. So I think I expect it to be a good movie, but I think the challenge will be to come up with a good story to sort of complement the whole special effects thingy that's going around and the concept behind this as well. So I think that'll be interesting to see. We'll see what happens.
Right?
I'm not sure what to make of the movie actually. I mean, from the trailer, I don't know the source material or anything like that either. And the trailer doesn't seem to give much of the plot away, except for the setting. So yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to be like. But I mean, what do you think of the source material? Is it any good?
Source material, it's a young adult fiction, so it's not out of the charts.
So it's in the vein of like Maze Runner or something like that.
So it's not amazing young adult now, like Harry Potter.
Okay.
So it's good that you don't know, but Atishu in fact jana source material. So by seeing this trailer, tomar ki were you like, yeah, I have to watch this movie? Like, it didn't work for you.
To be honest, no, not yet.
Why is that?
I don't think. It didn't seem appealing. I mean, the whole setting didn't seem very appealing. I mean, like nations moving on like, wheels, and something like the faster you have to be fast to survive or something like that. I mean,
So did it seem a little silly?
It did, a bit over the top. And
সব nations ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে, copying up other nations.
I mean, it's going to be like entirely like CGI. This film, I'm a big fan of CGI, but there are some instances where it's not done like tastefully, I guess, and it seems like one of those films where it's going to just be over the top.
Okay, I mean, okay. The couple of theories here, right? So one is, I think, for me, the concept was interesting. The fact that they showed St. Paul's in London, something I can relate to, I thought that was interesting. The fact that Peter Jackson is doing a futuristic movie, I think that is interesting. Now, you can go either way. Maybe he's trying to take this movie out to take the mickey out of people, because he's been forced or he's under a lot of pressure to try and bring out new things, right? So maybe it's one of those. But any sci-fi movie, whether it's good or bad, in today's CGI world, I will still watch it with good expectations because I like the details
Acha.
in a lot of things they do. It's not
Yeah.
for me. It's not all about the story. It's about
There's joy in just exploring that world.
yeah. I mean, like I said, my office is I can see St. Paul's from my office. The fact that I saw it,
No, this guy loves St. Paul's. আমরা পাঁচ দিয়ে যাচ্ছিলাম আমরা পাঁচবার সেন্ট পল দেখছিস ওটা সেন্ট পল খুব জোর
No, but Star Trek
দিয়ে
বলে-
যাবো আমি সেন্ট পল
what happened in Star Trek?
Star Trek
They
was-
showed all these new buildings in
হ্যাঁ,
London.
হ্যাঁ,
Okay, all these futuristic. বুঝছো বলো Wrath of Khan না করেছিল এটা?
Into Darkness
Into Darkness, right? They're showing all new buildings, all futuristic, but St. Paul.
সেন্ট পল আছে হ্যাঁ
So the fact that I see St. Paul's 5 days a week outside my window, and the fact that I see it on TV on wheels, for me it's different.
so that click for you
It's like তুমি যদি এখন ঢাকা you see Baitul Mokarram on wheels.
I'm there
You're there, right?
they've got my money
So there you go.
Yeah, I watched that movie.
না ওই না আমার কাছে ট্রেলারটা খুব বিউটিফুল লাগছে I thought it was a
Yeah, I thought it was
beautifully
interesting.
crafted trailer and I have complete faith on Peter Jackson আর কিছু না হলো this guy just like Michael Bay or the Zack Snyder এটা visually stunning forget about story and everything else তুই যেটা বলি you love exploring these worlds
Yeah.
these guys Michael Bay বলি Zack Snyder বলি Peter Jackson they give us stunning worlds and I hope স্টোরিটা ভালো করে স্টোরিটা ভালো করে because he needs a hit অনেকদিন ধরে কিন্তু ওই হবিটার নিয়ে বসে আছে ও কিছু করে নাই বেচারা was supposed to work on Tintin Part 2 with Steven Spielberg ওর আগে দুঃখে ওটার মধ্যে যায় না no one knows এটা কবে হবে so I hope this movie turns out well I hope that he's not just being a ওই যে নাম কাওয়াস্তে প্রোডিউসার কিন্তু অনেক টাইপের হয়
Absolutely.
যে আমি ধরো আতিশ মুভি বানাচ্ছি আমি বলবো যে তুই বানা I'll give you 50% of the funding and I'll see you at the premiere that's one way of producing
Yeah.
আরেকটা হচ্ছে যে I actually work with the director and I'm the producer with we have brainstorming so I hope since he's not developing anything else Peter Jackson I hope he brings
Exactly.
his gifts into this production with because the director is a young director he's not a this is his feature direction feature directorial debut so he'll probably need some guidance so I can understand your viewpoint আমার কাছেও দেখে একটু সিলি লাগছে but আমি যেটা বললাম যে I love everything that's not real so for me that's a plus বুঝছো but I also understand what you said about it being animation হলে ভালো হতো this just lends itself the concept of cities moving on wheels lends itself to great animation
I mean,
and that takes us to the next
I think
topic
a story like that would make a great Japanese anime, I think, in the vein of like Miyazaki, basically.
No, absolutely no, and not just Miyazaki. I'm in fact on the next topic যদি চলে যাই, which is basically.
so can I just go back to that
Sure,
topic?
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে, let's
Okay.
go back to
The only thing is, I এই trailer দেখে remind me of the Fifth Element movie টা মনে আছে?
Yeah, fantastic.
It remind me of that. ওইটা যখন trailer first came out, it gave me that same level of fear. So hopefully it'll be something different.
All right, so animation থেকে let's go on to our next topic, which is basically the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. So all of us just saw the trailer, teaser trailer বের হয়েছিল I think 2-3 মাস আগে ওটা দেখে I was very hooked. I was very interested. Looks fantastic. আমি প্রথমে ট্রেলার দেখে I think I told both of you guys before we started doing this show. I have not been this excited about an animation style since the first time I saw those 3D animation of Toy Story and all of that 90s এ বের হওয়া শুরু হলো না then I was like wow what is this এটা দেখে I had the same effect I don't know what they're doing I don't know what style this is it just blew me away if you guys haven't seen the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse trailer it's out on YouTube just watch it it's visually absolutely stunning and it's basically the plot of the new movie হচ্ছে যে there's another Spider-Man in the Marvel universe so now it's Miles Morales he's a black dude he's half Hispanic half black so he's also got spider powers আর সে Spider-Man থেকে অনেক young so he's also Spider-Man so this is more centered on him so I absolutely loved the way they portrayed the world of Miles Morales and his father and Bura Spider-Man I loved it what about you guys
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was very. I thought the trailer was very entertaining. It was interesting, clearly. I love animation, and I like the fact that it was sort of HD print, but had that 80s, 90s way of designing characters. Okay, I thought that was very interesting. I think the fact that they're embracing diversity in this movie, I think that's very encouraging as well. I think it'll appeal to a bigger crowd now, and all that. But I mean. Not just talking about this particular trailer, but I think Spider-Man generally. Clearly, there's an interesting spider out there in the world that's biting people and giving them powers, right? they should make a movie about that
The
spider
spider.
and how that spider got that power, got those kind of powers to inject that into other people who then become Spider-Man. So for me, I think that'll be interesting. But
So Sony, you heard it here first. So Amra, feel free to use it. This idea is absolutely free. So Atish Erokom is a very talented dude. Art interesting ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যে you can see all these Star Wars toys and whatnot. You might be thinking that we're all hippies. আমরা সবাই আছে না, আমি তো গান করি, so আমি already out. এরা নিশ্চয়ই hippie type. No, this guy is a very serious banker. And what do you do?
Bankers,
he's a banker as well.
Mike Turner.
Yeah, banker as well.
So these guys are both very serious bankers. এবং ওরা লন্ডনে banking করে. It's very tough out here. They're doing mashallah very well. And yet they love talking movies, they love talking books, they love talking toys and everything. Especially Atish is huge into Star Wars. My point is, if you have a passion, dive into it. Don't let others tell you how you need to behave or how you need to be. If you have a passion, dive into it. Makes you a better, far wiser person. So, Spider-Man bolte siri.
So you done? Okay, so I mean the trailer coming out today was completely unexpected. Wasn't expecting anything like that from Marvel, and the fact that it's an animation as well, and especially that you mentioned the style. The style is just completely mind blowing. You need to watch the trailer like as soon as possible because it is completely mind blowing. I don't know what effects they're using, but it seemed like. You know the 3D effect when you're not wearing the 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Old school 3D, it was based on that.
It's like shimmering, like
Exactly,
a little bit of shimmering.
Yeah.
Something was,
But it wasn't.
It's part of the year.
I see.
Yeah, and another thing is that I mean, Marvel, they've been releasing like animations for a while now. They've not been as great. I mean, DC, their films aren't as good, but the animation definitely is way better than Marvel's ones. I mean, recent ones were Killing Joke, which was okay, but Year One, and I think I saw the trailer for Batman Ninja as well, which looks like pretty stunning. So it seems that Marvel actually trying to expand the universe and actually trying to, I guess get a piece of like DC's like animation market.
And Artajish, this is not Marvel Productions like Kevin Feige. This is Sony.
Sony Pictures, wasn't it?
So
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
they'll
I mean,
do
Sony
something
originally
like
owns the rights for Spider-Man, right? They lent it to Marvel,
Yeah.
the MCU, basically.
So all of us like the trailer. All of us think it's absolutely something fresh and fantastic. I mean, absolutely. I thought this was very fresh, and he's absolutely right. That finally Sony, hopefully, will be doing something right with Spider-Man.
No, but this trailer opened up my eyes for like a different concept. Like I said, the spider that goes around doing this. আমার মাথায় আইডিয়াটা আসছে they should do something about that spider. Focus on the
মুভির
spider.
নাম কি হবে জানিস? স্পাইডারম্যান লেখা আছে, ম্যানটা কেটে দিবে। Spider.
You see where I'm coming from? That would be a brilliant thing, right?
No, it's actually interesting, but movie length জানি না, but I can actually see a nice comic book.
So I'm creator of that concept. Is that right? You can be co-creator.
খুব কিউট। আচ্ছা, স্পিকিং অফ স্পাইডারম্যান, যদিও এটা টপিকে ছিল না, just quick thoughts. Have you guys seen the Venom trailer?
I haven't
Do
seen
you
it.
guys know who Venom is?
Yeah, I know.
You know who Venom
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
He's a villain in Spider-Man universe. Have
Green
you seen-
outfit,
You haven't
right?
seen the trailer?
No.
I saw the trailer, yeah.
What's
You saw
the
the
trailer?
trailer?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think it really works. I mean, Spider-Man's an essential part of the Venom like character and storyline. So without Spider-Man, first of all, I don't think how the story is going to work. It'll have to take like some like pretty strong like reimagining of the whole story to get it to work, I think. But Tom Hardy's a good actor. I'm not sure the director is for this.
Director, ভুলে গেছি নাম।
Okay, so I mean that's a film I'll definitely go and watch. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not great.
I'm calling it right now. It's not going to be great. It's going to be awful, because I don't even care about how they figure in Spider-Man and Venom connection. I'm like, this is a movie universe. You can do different things. I don't mind. But trailer reminded me of all those 80s Dolph Lundgren, Charles Brosnan.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Hurt. I will
Like
hurt you. Part
the
5.
Dolph Lundgren Punisher film, something like that, right?
হ্যাঁ, সব Justice in the Night Part 6 পুরো এরকম লাগছে আমার কাছে অ্যাকশন গুলো। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আই এম ইউ জঘন্য লাগছে আমার কাছে। and when I was watching the trailer, ওখানে দেখা যায় যে এডি ব্রকের এখান থেকে এই স্যুটের কি বের হয়, আমার সব উইয়ার্ড লাগতেছিল, বুঝছো? আমি লাইক, why does that look weird to me? Why does then আমি পরে খেয়াল হচ্ছে, wait, Venom তো actually his approximation of spider webs মারে এখান থেকে, he doesn't have things sprouting from his body. That's Carnage. That's not Venom.
Yeah.
So that was really sitting badly with me, and I didn't see a single thing in the trailer that was fresh. Not a single action shot, nothing যেটা দেখে মনে হচ্ছে, oh, I've never seen that before. Everything was so hackneyed and typical. So I'm calling it right now, guys. Venom will be a shit movie. একদমই ভালো হবে না, and Sony বিশাল একটা বাস খাবে, and তখন they'll be very worried about Spider-Man animationটা কি মানুষ দেখবে নাকি দেখবে না।
Well, I mean, they're making money off the Spider-Man in the MCU as well. So I guess
না বাট প্রবলেম হচ্ছে যে ওদের তো প্ল্যান হচ্ছে যে স্পাইডারম্যানকে আমরা এমসিইউ দিছি রেস্ট অফ সবাইকে দিয়ে
Let's talk about Sinister Six
Venom was the
and
gateway
everything.
drug to that.
Yeah.
But if Venom will bomb.
So you could see their franchise like fall flat even before it gets started basically.
Exactly.
But I guess they can bank their hopes in animation though, right?
Animation will never make as much money as
Yeah,
especially with
that's true.
superhero animation.
No, that's true.
So you'll
Yeah.
never make as much money as. Acha, last confusing topic of the day. I'm just generally just to take the piece out of DC to Raksi. You guys have seen Suicide Squad, right? So Suicide Squad, Jared Leto plays কি বলে the Joker.
Yeah.
So I hated that version of the Joker. But কয়েকদিন আগে নিউজ বের হচ্ছে যে by the way কি Martin Scorsese is in talks with Warner Brothers to produce a movie about the origins of Joker যেটা will take place in the 80s and ওখানে কি হবে ওখানে Joaquin Phoenix will act as the Joker. So আমি এটা শুনে what the hell is going on? Then ওরা বলে this will be separate from the DC universe blah blah blah. And গতকালকে না পরশু আবার Jared Leto টুইট করছে or somebody some rumors gone out that Jared Letoকে বলা হয়েছে তোমাকে নিয়ে আমরা একটা জোকার মুভি বানাচ্ছি. So first of all, do you guys want to see Joker solo movies? And secondly, do you think there should be two Joker solo movies? যেখানে one is in the DC universe, one is not in the DC. Do you think people will understand what the fuck is going on?
I can see why you're surprised.
Meanwhile, no Batman film has been announced. No Man of Steel 2 has been announced. Meanwhile.
I can see where you're coming from because obviously, I mean, I think one of the reasons you're shocked is because Martin Scorsese is directing it probably, and the fact that Robert De Niro is not playing Batman and Al Pacino is not the Joker. So absolutely, I can see where the shock is coming from. To be perfectly honest with you, I think if they make it interesting and good, why not? I mean, Scorsese is a very talented director. Okay, he's good at creating depth. He's good at bringing newcomers and whatever and getting them out of the comfort zone when it comes to acting and all that, right? So from that perspective, I'm pretty optimistic. You can't always have movies out because based on the fact that, okay, Batman hasn't come out, so that can't come out, or the fact that Batman hasn't come out, so this movie won't do well. I don't think you can always put things into formula or into perspective, but I think he's very good at what he does. So yeah, optimistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess out of the two, I'm definitely more excited about the Scorsese film. I mean, I didn't like Jared Leto's Joker at all as well. I mean, there's a lot of hype around it about his method acting and what he did. I mean, to his co-stars on set and whatnot. And I thought, reading that, I thought this Joker is going to be better than Heath Ledger's Joker. But I mean, you were sorely disappointed, I think, with that. But having said that. I mean, Joker's a character which can basically work on, on a Scorsese level, I think. I mean, you saw The Dark Knight, the second part of the Chris Nolan's trilogy. I mean, that was basically a crime film with the Joker as the baddie and Batman as the goodie. But, I mean, one thing I'd be most curious about is to see what source material he actually goes for. Because, I mean, to me, the definitive, Joker origin story was probably Alan Moore's, Killing Joke, yeah. So I guess it depends a lot on what he's going to use as a source of material, and again also how he executes it in terms of the origin story.
No, my issue is I mean obviously if you tell me, hey, do you want to see a Joker movie directed/produced by Martin Scorsese, do you have to know? Yes, I'm in. You got my money. Our problem is dosto, this is exactly what Star Wars is doing. This is what Lucasfilm is doing. They don't have a plan. তুমি যদি একটা মানুষকে জোকার হিসেবে কাস্ট করছো and you put him in Suicide Squad and it's an Academy Award winning actor, Jared Leto, invest in him. যদি মার্টিন স্করসেসি নিয়ে মুভি বানাতে হয় মার্টিন স্করসেসির সাথে ওকে নিয়েই বানাও. Don't make it outside the DC universe. Put it in the DC. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
If Martin has an idea, take that idea. Tell your boss, আপনি পুরো আপনার মতো ছবি বানান, মাঝখানে খালি এখানে একটা মেট্রোপলিস নামটা একবার মেনশন করেন. You get what I'm saying? অথবা ডেইলি প্ল্যানেট নামটা মেনশন করেন, তাহলে সবাই বুঝে যাবো এটা আমার ইউনিভার্স আছে. আর আপনি যা খুশি করেন.
People relate to it.
But ওরা কিন্তু পুরো স্টার ওয়ার্সের মতো, ও আচ্ছা let's do a Boba Fett movie, let's do a this movie, this or that movie. Meanwhile কিন্তু ওদের main epic trilogy is crashing and burning. So ব্যাটম্যানের কোনো খবর নাই, সুপারম্যানের কোনো খবর নাই, জাস্টিস লিগ ট্যাঙ্কড. জাস্টিস লিগ হচ্ছে লাস্ট ডে যত খারাপ তার থেকে 50 times worse than Justice League. And now they're like, hey, we're gonna have 2 Joker movies. Who the fuck wants 2 Joker movies? I don't know what the fuck is going on.
And যদি কালকে Jared Leto commit suicide, তাহলে দেখবো সবাই বলবে, Joe's acting. He was probably the second best Joker after Heath Ledger.
No. It was a joke. And that's not a pun. So no, so I'm glad Atish has a different point of view. I guess that's the non Rabbit fan point of view. আর আমারটা হচ্ছে
মানে
totally
বাজে পয়েন্ট অফ ভিউ না
no,
I'm just kidding.
তোর মতো মানুষ না, it's the non-fans who make the movie a $1 billion hit, not the fans ultimately সবাই মিলে দেখলে $200 million হবে, it's all the other people. So that's ওটা ভালো, but আমার view point হচ্ছে I'm gonna watch all the films anyway. I'm gonna watch Jared Leto one, I'm gonna watch the Martin Scorsese one, whoever they cast. But it's very painful because it's like there's no plan. The only good news about DC is this new kid who's taken over, Walter Hamada, this new guy who's taken over as DC Films chief executive. He's very good friends with James Wan, who's the guy behind Conjuring and Insidious and all of those things, and he's doing Aquaman. So these guys are good friends, and he said certain things. I've heard certain things about him that tells me that he actually has a plan. And just wanted to better booze than all the other idiots who are running the studio. So here's hoping for the best. Our kind of
But just on Scorsese, okay?
Yeah.
I fully agree with you that this is not in sync or in plan with what everything. But Scorsese kintu mane he's good at surprising people. He can be original when he wants to. So you never know. This might turn out to be a brilliant movie. Okay?
No, so brilliant core. Put it in the universe.
Agree.
ওটাই বললাম আমার সুপারম্যান দেখতে হবে না, আই ডোন্ট নিড আ শট ওয়্যার সুপারম্যান ফ্লাইং বাই, অ্যাট লিস্ট যে বস আপনি জাস্ট মেট্রোপলিস করতে বললেন এই তাহলে কিন্তু ফর ফ্যান্স লাইক মি মেট্রোপলিস বলছে তার মানে ইটস পার্ট অফ দ্য ডিসিইউ, দ্যাটস ইট।
Absolutely.
But I mean, at the same time, aren't you intrigued by the potential of Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker? Because he's, he could be a really intense actor as well.
See, I mean, before the show, I don't know if I was telling you or who was telling you, you need to sacrifice. বলছিলাম তোমাকে বলছিলাম আজকে যে who was I saying যে why hasn't Marvel done a Black Widow movie? There are many reasons, but one big reason হচ্ছে Black Widow was not opening up a new world for Marvel Comics. Get what I'm saying? Now that all the worlds have opened up, এখন they're going to do a Black Widow movie. Get what I'm saying?
A standalone one.
Standalone one. So what world will doing a Joker movie outside the DC universe open up for DC? Nothing.
No, but don't you think he can have standalone movies that exist on his own outside the main universe?
I totally agree.
And I mean, to an extent, Logan was kind of like that. I mean, it apparently fit into the main universe somehow.
That's a very good argument.
But I mean, it can exist on its own as well.
It can. আমার argument হচ্ছে যে you need to do what your strength is. Your strength is a shared universe. DC Comics is a shared universe.
Yeah.
You need to do what your strength is. Once you've enshrined your strength, but entrenched yourself in that strong position, then you branch out. Logan ওরা কবে করছে? 2005 তো করে নাই। First X-Men movie came in 2000. They didn't do Logan in 2005. They did 2018. Get my point?
No, that's right. Yeah.
So our point is first to build your universe. Then তোমার তো DC is already a নাম আছে. It's called Elseworlds. There's this line of books which is called Elseworlds. The whole idea is take familiar characters, put them in unfamiliar situations. Do that. But আসলে তুমি আগে আসলে বাসার ফাউন্ডেশন ঠিক হয় নাই, তুমি স্যাটেলাইট ডিশ লাগাই দিছো উপরে। That's all I'm saying. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just as a fan of the properties is my viewpoint. There's no right or wrong. It's all a discussion. So,
But I typically like directors and concepts going out of the comfort zone. Actually, I contradict myself. Star Wars. No,
you're right.
If they do a fantastic job, if they surprise you, then that's brilliant, and that's what I look forward to. I don't want to go in with a pessimistic attitude. Actually, so I did because of Last Jedi. Last Jedi দেখার পরে I don't know how many people committed suicide. When Luke died, I think a lot of people died as well. Actually, at least their love for Star Wars died. Maybe it'll come back as a force ghost.
এই সুন্দর এই লাইট-হার্টেড মোমেন্টে আমরা আজকে শোটা এন্ড করতেছি। So থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। আজকে সবাই যারা টিউন করছে, I don't know who the hell is tuning in, ঢাকায় সকাল 6টা বাজে না 5টা বাজে, জাস্ট সেরি খেয়ে সবাই ঘুমাইছে। But whoever did tune in or whoever is watching us, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and